Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tune Project. So today I wanted to have a little chat with you all about confidence when it comes to playing and performing and how to convince yourself and convince others that you know what you're doing with your instrument. So we'll get into that in just a second, but before we do, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if it's your first time joining us, I invite you to click that red subscribe button below for more violin and fiddle related content. Alright, so jumping right into this, my first tip when it comes to being confident in your abilities with the violin, with the fiddle, is to practice good technique. It sounds like such a basic thing, and I know I address this all of the time here on the Tune Project, but it really does make all of the difference if you are performing or you're playing with other musicians and you have a really solid setup, good technique, a good bow hold, a good left hand. It really convinces them that, wow, they really know what they're doing. They really, take this seriously, they practice. And even if you are a good player and do know what you're doing, if your technique says otherwise, it's gonna be harder to convince other people of that. And my second tip for being confident in your abilities is to trust yourself. Trust that you know what you're doing, especially when it comes to practicing. A lot of times we practice something that is difficult for us, we, hammer it out, we woodshed, we do all these different things to try to perfect whatever music, whatever piece or song or tune that we're playing. And yet, even when we have perfected it or polished that section, sometimes when we come across it, our brain kind of fires and says, wait a minute, this is scary, this is hard, historically this has been a problem for us. And that's when we start to kind of shut down and either play more timidly or shy away from that section, even if we do know what we're doing. So I would encourage you to trust yourself, trust that if you have practiced that section, your muscles remember, you know what you're doing, your brain knows, and it's just a matter of telling your brain to relax a little bit and trust that you've got this. All right, my last tip is kind of an unusual one and kind of a difficult one, but surprisingly really effective. And I have found that to be the case with my own playing, and that is using a lot of bow. I remember when I was younger, I was self-conscious about my performance ability and just playing in front of people, and sometimes I would play timidly and I would use a very small amount of bow, and I was afraid to have a strong tone and be too loud and things like that. But in all reality, the more bow you use, your tone is actually going to really improve, and you're training your right arm how to keep a parallel line with your bow and your bridge and your fingerboard, and you're just overall improving your abilities and your technique and things like that along the way. So if you challenge yourself to use more bow, it's amazing what a difference it can make in your overall tone, how you come across to people, appearing more confident and knowing what you're doing, and also you, in doing so, kind of trick your brain into thinking that you are confident and that you do know what you're doing with a piece, with a tune, and different things along the way. So I would really encourage you to start, if nothing else, start with this one tip, and that is to just use more bow. It's amazing what it'll do for you, and you'll find that you might actually really like the way that you sound when using a lot of bows. Alright guys, well those were my tips for being more confident and appearing more confident with the violin. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, again, please give it a thumbs up. And I would love to hear from you down in the comments below if there's anything that you have done that has improved your confidence with playing or has helped to kind of convince yourself and convince others that you know what you're doing when it comes to the violin. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, happy practicing. If you'd like to further your support of the Tune Project, be sure to head over to patreon.com/thetuneproject for information on that. And if you're planning on buying any music or doing any shopping on Amazon, be sure to head over to the Tune Project website, which I linked in the description box of all of my videos. Click my Amazon banner, and whatever you purchase, a small percentage of that will go toward the Tune Project. This just keeps the Tune Project going and allows me to continue to create free content for you all.